What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome to Endure, Believe, Rise. I hope this message reaches you in good energy. I hope you and your loved ones are in good health. So, continuing the tradition that I've started the last 2 years, I want to continue it this year, um, highlighting four African American heroes, being that it's Black History Month. And out of the four that I've chosen this year, I wanted to start with Denzel Washington. As you can see on the board, or excuse me, on the wall, I do have all four of the ones that I will be covering this year. And here's Denzel. And I put a few of his movies on the board, which I want to read off now in case you can't see because of the glare. Fences, Man on Fire, The Siege, Flight, Malcolm X, John Q, Training Day, Remember the Titans, He Got Game, Fallen, Glory, The Manchurian Candidate, The Magnificent Seven. All magnificent films, all where Denzel shines and goes above and beyond and shows extraordinary performances. All films where they show his variety of his range. There, of course, these aren't all his films. There's more. These are some of my favorites. The Siege and Fences are probably tied for my top two favorite Denzel movies of all time. Not just because of the dialogue that is in there, not just because of the symbolism that is in there, but because of his performance. It's just something so powerful about watching Denzel in a role, and he just the intensity that he brings, and yet simplicity. Things that he does and doesn't do. Very motivational, very powerful. Me being a showman, Denzel, watching his performance has always inspired me, has always taught me, and has always helped me to critique my own performances. Right, the way you hold your mouth, the way you hold on to certain words, the way you don't say certain words, where you look. There's just so much there, and even off camera when he isn't acting, his motivational speeches, his philanthropy. There's a million things that this young, or excuse me, not young, this black man. He was young at the time when I started watching him. That does this black king does for the community, for us, and I wanted to highlight him, give him his roses. And if you've been living under a rock and you haven't seen a Denzel movie, or if thought you've seen all of them, and there's a few that you haven't, here's a few suggestions for you to go watch. Right, Fences is probably, if I had to pick one, it would probably be Fences, just because of the dynamic and the dichotomy that he has with his son in the movie. His deliverance, the fact that he's flawed, he's trying to be the right man, but he's got these vices that he's doing. He's got these demons that he's trying to fight. He's got these responsibilities trying to uphold, and he's trying to be honest with. It's just a great movie. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it because I didn't know about it until I saw the movie. I never saw the play, and nobody spoiled it for me, and that helped with me watching it and how impactful that it was. Definitely a transition period of my life when I saw it too, so that definitely means something as well. The Siege I saw when I was young, and I just remember so much showmanship, so much back and forth between him and Bruce Willis. I mean, when you have two titans get on the screen, it's got the recipe to be a heck of a performance, a heck of a ride, and boy was it, right? Boy was it. Remember the Titans, of course. Seeing him battle through racism, him bring together teams, him conquer racism, him abolish it through some of these people who were racist at the beginning of the movie. It turned out that they realized that the prejudice and the precognitions that they had against each other, both black and white, were wrong. Right? That we are human, that we can come together. The Manchurian Candidate was a complete mind twist and thriller. Right? Great movie, great ending. Just so many different roles that he's done. I could spend hours and hours. I did do some research on his history and his upbringing. Came up like a lot of black people did at that time, hard in rough rural areas. But after his parents split, his mom did decide that once he started hanging in the wrong crowd and getting in trouble, she was going to ship him off to another school so that he didn't have that he had a chance. And a lot of people, when someone does that, right, when their mom gets them out of the hood, so to speak, ships them off to boarding school, when their parents or their dad makes a decision to remove them, they say, well, you would have been just like us had that not happened. You have to understand, just because somebody gives you food doesn't mean you have to eat it. So you need to also pay homage and respect, admiration, and give credit to that person for taking the path of life. Just because somebody showed them it, just because somebody doesn't mean that. I mean, there's been so many people that I've given knowledge to who have refused to use it, who have refused to believe it, who has refused to embrace it. There's been so many people. I mean, and this is going to get convoluted. I'm starting to kind of uh, get lost in the weeds, but they told Harriet Tubman, how many slaves did you free? And she said thousands, but I could have freed millions if they would have realized that they were slaves. And that's what I want to highlight on Denzel's younger life, right? When his mom sent him to school, he could have easily rejected that and ran away and found trouble where she sent him. But he embraced it, and he found, he was even flunking out of school, and he was going to, they were going to allow him back into the fall. And someone said, you know, you seem like you have a good knack in acting. Why don't you take that up? And he did, and it went forth from there. But yeah, Denzel Washington, you know, definitely one of my heroes. Definitely one of my heroes. Definitely one of my inspirations. Definitely one of my teachers. You know, whether one of my mentors, even because of the way that he talks, the way that he holds himself. A lot of showmanship of mine comes from him. A lot of my presence comes from him. You know, and go check it out. You go check out his movies if you haven't seen them. I don't know how you could have not, because he's such an incredible actor. But if you happen to just be in the maybe the younger generation, right, and you're just hearing about Denzel, go check out his early work. Go check out, you know, The Preacher's Wife. Go check out some of those films, and check out some of the ones I got on the board, because Flight is crazy. That is an awesome film. That film was crazy. But and it shows the complex of a person. That's another thing that I love about the roles that he plays. He doesn't really play a straightforward guy. He a lot of times plays a complex character, and I think us as black men, especially being in America, it's not, it's very complex. It's very a complex situation. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope I taught you guys something. If I didn't teach you anything, hopefully I reminded you some stuff, and you can play this back and maybe gave you some good movie suggestions. So yeah, I need you guys to take care of yourselves. Please be kind to one another. Keep me in your prayers. I'll forever keep you in mind. Endure, believe, rise.